My name is Ofori Mensah. I work with Advanced Solution Life Sciences right here in Manchester, New Hampshire.
How do you describe a typical day at work?
Right now, I'm an intern over there, so I'm involved in a lot of research that is going on. We have a lot of projects that we are undertaking right now. We have a project which involves trying to establish flow in microvessels. And usually, if you want to establish and grow them into matured microvessels, and there are certain genes that are present in matured microvessels. And so my role basically involves testing if those genes are present. So that's doing some PCR and cDNA conversion, RNA isolation to see if we have those genes present in our samples.
What skills or education brought you to this job?
I have a background in biochemistry, so I have a bachelor's in biochemistry from University of Cape Coast in Ghana. And right now, I'm a graduate student at UNH studying biotechnology and biomedical science. Well, with regards to skills, you need basic aseptic techniques like cell culture. You need molecular biology techniques like PCR and a little bit of data analysis with common software like Excel.
What kind of support did you have along the way?
Like I said earlier, I'm originally from Ghana. I moved to the United States some years ago. I grew up with my grandma. So when I was growing up, she taught me a lot of stuff with regards to life in general, in terms of perseverance, not giving up. And there are times that she had to take care of a whole family by herself, and I get a lot of inspiration from her story and what she had to go through to help raise all of us.
How does the Millyard History benefit today's STEM companies?
I read about it. I read that it was a big textile company back in the day. They used to grow a lot of. It used to be like a headquarters of making clothes, and so I think it was a pretty cool thing that they were doing back then. And looking at that, I think there's still that energy, or there's still that entrepreneurial spirit that the people had, which is still around this area. That's why you can see a lot of companies springing up in terms of this field, and trying to be pioneers in fields like biotech in this area. So I think it's a cool area, and I think technology is, in my opinion, is basically being innovative and being creative and coming up with new stuff. So back in the day, they were making jeans, I think, from raw materials, basically, and trying to get it from the raw materials into a nice jeans that we all wear. So I guess they took time to be innovative, think about how they can make their jeans unique, and sell it out there. Transitioning from that, right now, what is going on is that there's a lot of people with a lot of cardio diseases, people with a lot of heart diseases, and studying microvessels and studying how blood vessels work will help us be innovative and help us to come up with ideas to solve this, the problem that we have. So we kind of like can have when they were making jeans, for instance, they were very creative, so we can bring the idea of creativity into what we do now in order to come up with new products.
What do you see for opportunities for STEM growth in Manchester?
I like the fact that a lot of companies here are collaborating with each other. Like, for instance, you talked about Army. UNH recently turned the 6th floor into a biotechnology innovation center where people from different labs can go there and use the facilities. I think because in science in general, usually most research and most innovative products usually come out of collaborative ideas. So the more that people from different backgrounds, so engineers coming together, people from the life sciences like myself coming together and collaborating and sharing ideas. And I see that I see that a lot in the Manchester area. I see engineers and life sciences people, biologists, chemists, all coming together to share idea to solve a common problem. I think is a pretty good idea. I think that happens in this area, and it should keep it up.